Good girl. Yes, we finally know what you are. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and you didn't know already, this is my dog Pinky, who has conveniently just decided to jump up on my lap and give me some love. Are you a bit confused who I'm talking to? Just in case you've never seen my videos before, my name is Sophie and I have a YouTube channel, a main channel which is called Soph Does Life. This is my second channel, which is Soph Does Vlogs, and this is my little dog Pinky. My partner James and I are Pinky's owners. We've had her for just over a year. She's a rescue dog from Romania and we got her on the 13th of November 2020. By the way, these are joggers. I know that it kind of looks like I'm naked. And she has been the absolute light of our lives for the past year and a bit. We're not exactly sure of her backstory. When we originally adopted her, they thought she was around 3 months old. And from what they knew, she was found with her brother, I guess, on the streets in Romania, and then was taken to a place called Danaflor, which is like where they keep a lot of dogs, and a lot of them actually end up getting put down if nobody sort of adopts them. And so they didn't really know much about her really, other than that they were just puppies at the time. And so obviously they don't know the exact birth and everything, they don't know the exact breed. Lots of these street dogs in Romania are obviously like a complete mix of different breeds because they've been bred for like generations and generations of dogs that are just strays. And we were lucky enough to be able to adopt her. She's just chewing her toes. And another family adopted her brother as well, so they both came over together. When we took her to her first vet's appointment, the vet reckoned that she was probably anywhere between like 6 months to a year. But then a few months later she sort of came into heat, and judging by sort of like her size, her teeth, when she came into heat and when she sort of stopped growing, we think she's around 1 year and 9 months. We reckon she was born around like April time of 2020, and we never decided to do a sort of breed test or like DNA test or anything because we'd heard from a lot of people that if you adopt a dog from abroad, they're not very accurate. And I know that they're still not always 100% accurate anyway, but especially for like street dogs, because they've got so many mixes in them, it can be extremely hard to sort of like tell their genetics. And some people have sent off for results and it's just come back with super mutt, and we were kind of expecting that to happen. The reason why we decided to do a DNA test is because we'd actually seen a few other people that had adopted dogs from Romania as well do the wisdom panel DNA test, and it's come back with results that seem like they're fairly accurate. I've got dog hair stuck to my lip. We got it on Amazon. I think it was like £85. Our initial guesses were that she definitely has some Chihuahua in her, and also some kind of terrier, some kind of chasing dog, because she chases. Like, she will see a bird and she will be off, and she can run fast. So many people had said to us, oh, is she a corgi? And a lot of people thought that, you know, she was a corgi mix. However, a lot of people had also told us there's no corgis in Romania, so it's highly unlikely that she was going to be sort of a corgi. But because of her body shape and everything, she's got short little legs, she's got a white fluffy bum, a couple of similarities to a corgi, I guess. But to be quite honest, we do not care whatsoever what breed she is, because, you know, we hadn't even thought to sort of try it until now. All we know is that when we took her to the vet, they said that she's a very healthy dog, which is the absolute most important thing. And also, she's the most loving dog in the world, and we are absolutely obsessed with her. You get like these 2 little swabs. I will insert a little bit of footage in a second of like what the kit looked like. And all you have to do is take both of the swabs, you do 2, and you just stick it in like their cheek and sort of like hold on one side of the cheek and then just like swirl it around for 15 seconds to try and get some of their cheek cells, I think it is. I did that, we sent it off. It gives you a little envelope to send it in. It gets sent off, I think, first class. I think it was like maybe 4 or 5 days later, they said that they'd got the DNA and they were processing it. And it usually takes between 2 to 3 weeks to sort of process the DNA until you get the results. So in total, we waited about 3 weeks from sending it off to get the results back. And every day I was logging in and like checking to see if it was there yet, because we were just so excited. And so I will just quickly insert that little bit of footage now. So this is what the kit looks like. So it's got like the sample ID. I'm covering it just in case it's got any personal information. I don't think it does. You just get the instructions, you get the swabs, and then you get the like return envelope to send it back in. So it does seem pretty straightforward. You literally just swab both of the swabs in your dog's cheek and gums. arms while like applying a bit of pressure to the outside of their mouth, I guess, and then you let the swabs dry, you package them back up and you send them off. So I'm gonna go do that now. Please excuse my broken and Christmas nails. It's January, I'm gonna redo them tonight, but I'm gonna go and do these swabs and we'll send it off and see what they come back with. I think it takes about 2 weeks. So a couple of days ago, we were literally just about to go out somewhere and I got an email come through that said your results are in, and we were like, oh my god, we can't not look at it. But we didn't have time to film our reaction or anything, and we sort of just wanted to have a look at it ourselves and like read through it all properly and everything. Before I read it out to you, give me your predictions down below. What do you think Pinky is in terms of her breed? Here she is. What do you reckon she is? What do you reckon she's a mix of? Let me know in the comments. I'll be very interested to see if some of you are right, because there are some rogue breeds in there. So, on her profile, this is what it looks like. It has the age and everything, just because that was like my rough estimate of her age. It first came up with, we detected 24 breeds in Pinky's DNA. 24 breeds! Which, to be honest, we weren't quite expecting that many. And if there were that many, we weren't expecting it to have a breakdown of what the breeds actually were. Obviously, I am aware that this might not be 100% accurate. So first of all, I will go through her top 5 in terms of breeds. And the highest percentage that she's got of one particular breed is 11%. And that 11% is Chihuahua, which is what we had sort of guessed. To be honest, I thought maybe she'd be a mix of like, I don't know, 10 different breeds, and Chihuahua would be like 20-something%. But she is 11% Chihuahua, and that is her highest percentage of one single breed. And that makes sense. They have similar sort of like features in terms of the face, the colour, the body, like everything like that. And we had actually seen some other sort of Chihuahua mixes that do look similar to Pinky, so yeah, we were kind of expecting that one, and that makes perfect sense. The next one is 9% German Shepherd. You would never look at Pinky and be like, oh yeah, she's got some German Shepherd in her. Also, the fact that she's got so many different dogs in her definitely explains why she's an absolute nutcase. But she is so funny, and she's got the funniest and cutest little personality, so it makes a lot of sense. But German Shepherd, they are big dogs. It's quite funny really, because Chihuahua isn't like the most brainy when it comes to dogs, and German Shepherd are very clever dogs, so you know, she's got a mix of those two. And I know that some people would sort of be like, how does that work? How does a German Shepherd mate with a Chihuahua? When you actually look back further on her family tree, you can see that her like great-great-great-grandparent was a German Shepherd mixed with another dog. So it would have started out as like a German Shepherd that bred with a slightly smaller dog, and then the next generation down, that German Shepherd mix then bred with a slightly smaller dog, and that's probably how it gets sort of like smaller and smaller, if that makes sense. The third one is 9%, I'm probably going to pronounce this completely wrong, Segugio Italiano. I've got no idea how to pronounce that. Segugio. I had to Google this because I'd never seen this type of dog before. And funnily enough, when we Googled it, we actually bumped into somebody the other day when we were out walking that also had a Romanian rescue. It looked just like this dog. So again, looks nothing like Pinky, other than I guess like the shape of the face. And that one is a hunting dog, according to Google. It says that it's an ancient Italian breed dating back thousands of years, bred to hunt game, including hare, rabbits, and wild boar. They are tough dogs. So I guess maybe that's where Pinky got some of her hunting abilities from. And also I'd imagine from probably just her being a street dog in general. I think a lot of street dogs have got a very high prey drive, because if they've lived on the streets, they would have had to literally hunt for their own food and stuff. So I've got no idea. I've got no idea. We don't know what, you know, what their sort of backstory is. But that only takes us up to 29%. So there are 3 breeds that she's 6% of. The first one is called a Peruvian Inca Orchid. Literally never heard of that before. This breed of dog is so cute. A lot of them look quite hairless actually. They have little sticky uppy ears. I'm not sure if that one's accurate, because according to Google that's quite a rare dog. It says that they're not really bred very often, and it's a sight hound, but who knows? She is then 6% Shih Tzu, and I love Shih Tzus, they're so cute. My best friend's actually got 3 Shih Tzus. And Shih Tzus tend to be very sort of like happy and affectionate, stick to their owner and stuff. When we first got Pinky, we thought that she was a Kokoni, and if you Google Kokoni, there are some dogs that look just like Pinks, but just a little bit more fluffy. And a Kokoni is a type of dog that I think comes from Greece, but it was only recently sort of classed as its own breed of dog. And it's pretty much just a small Greek dog. And a lot of the street dogs in Greece are Kokonis, and obviously she didn't come from Greece, but we thought that maybe she was some sort of Kokoni mix, who knows? Because obviously Greece and Romania, they're not like you know, other sides of the planet. She's then 6% Fijian street dog, which out of all of the dogs on here, this one probably looks the most like her. But again, because it's a street dogs come in all different shapes and sizes. I'm not too sure about that one because Fiji is literally on the other side of the world to Romania. And then I will just sort of quickly go through the remaining ones because there are so many of like 2%, 3% kind of breeds. The next one is 5% Danish-Swedish farm dog. And if you look at the Google pictures, it actually does look very similar to Pinky's face. Very, very similar in terms of like the facial structure and the ears. Obviously, Pinky's got one ear down and one ear up. 4% Russian Toy Terrier, which to me looks just like a Chihuahua. They look very Chihuahua-esque. She's 3% Dachshund, a little sausage dog, which we'd kind of maybe suspected because her legs are so short. We thought that maybe that was somewhere in the mix and we weren't wrong about that. That could be where she gets her short legs from. 3% Wire Fox Terrier, which when I googled this one, it looks nothing like Pinky. But again, because she's got so many different breeds, you know, they're not all gonna look like her at all. 3% Berger d'Auvergne. Well, this picture has got the same sort of body shape as Pinky. I've never seen this type of dog before, but they look absolutely beautiful. 4% Pekingese. 3% Poodle, Toy and Miniature. 3% Pomeranian. 4% Sarplaniac, which is like a big fluffy shepherd dog. 3% Catahoula Leopard Dog. Again, a breed that I've never heard of in my life. Apparently it's an American dog breed. 3% Samoyed. I'm not sure how you say that one. This one I can see. The face, I mean, obviously they're much fluffier than Pinky, but the face is kind of there. I think it's mostly because in all the pictures, all of these types of dogs are smiling. 3% Istrian Short-Haired Hound, which to me looks kind of a bit like a big beagle. She is 2% Criticos Lagonicos. Funnily enough, that one looks the most like her out of all of the dogs on here, but she's only 2%, that one. And that one is a Cretan hound from the island of Crete, and it's one of the oldest hunting breeds in Europe, apparently. And it kind of looks like you pinks. She is 2% American Pit Bull Terrier, 2% Neapolitan Mastiff, which Mastiff is like big dog, isn't it? Oh my god, that could not look further from Pinky. That's like the giant dog in Harry Potter. And then finally, she is 2% Moody, 2% Commandor, and 2% Catalan Sheepdog. Moody, I can definitely see, especially the sort of like white ones, that does look similar to Pink's actually. So there we go, the majority of her breeds are terrier breeds. Next up is herding breeds, then companion breeds, then hounds, then street dogs, Middle Eastern and African dog, guard dog, Asian Oceanian dog, sporting dog, and sight hound. So she's pretty much got like every different type of dog in her, which is pretty incredible, to be honest. You're a little Heinz 57, aren't you, Pinks? If I just show you her family tree, this is so mad. So obviously this is just like predicted family tree. Her parents were mixes of all of these different types of dogs. Go on then, give me your goose. Her great-grandparents were all mixes of different dogs, and I will put the little chart on the screen. It's kind of interesting to see all of that, but yeah, it just shows that basically for generations back, they were all different mixes. And then it does say we found 23 of Pinky's relatives, which are distant relatives. So they're all 1% related to Pinky. And then you can click on their profiles and sort of like see what type of dogs they are. Like there's a dog in the United States, which looks like a little Shih Tzu, that apparently is 1% related to Pinky. And then something which is really great from this test is that it's supposed to detect genetic conditions. And it says Pinky is all clear for 29, sorry, she's got her goose, you can hear her growling. Pinky is clear for 29 genetic conditions that could impact her early vet visits. So that is obviously great news. And then the final thing, which I found so interesting, because obviously we didn't put in any photos of her or anything, because I think some people sort of speculate they might estimate certain things based on the photos, but we didn't do that. We didn't upload any photos. It has different traits that is likely to be in Pinky, such as the colour of her fur, and it says fawn possible and recessive red apparently, and also tan points possible. It says white markings possible and saddle tan possible. She's definitely got white markings. She's got a lot of white in her. It says short coat likely, long coat possible. I would say I don't really know. I don't really know what's like a long haired dog and a short haired dog. She's kind of got mixes of long and short hair in her. Because like around her neck and everything is really fluffy, around her bum is really fluffy. But then her back is quite smooth. The one thing that this got wrong, it says reduced shedding. It says occasional shedder. She's more than just an occasional shedder. She sheds all over everything. We have to vacuum constantly. It says her ideal weight, it should be between 7.3 to 13.2 kilograms. She's around 9 or 10, so that again is completely accurate. Her head shape, it says that she has a short snout. I wouldn't say that her snout is short. It says Pinky's genes say she likely has brown or amber eyes, which she does have. She has genes for more upright ears, and obviously she's got one up and one down, which is so cute. When we first got her, they were both down, because obviously she was a puppy and most puppies' ears are down because they don't have like the strong enough cartilage yet. And then one of them went up, and then for a couple months it went back down again, and then it just went up and permanently stayed there. And then there's traits for extra toes, which I did not know was a thing, but it says she appears to have the most common number of toes for a dog, 5 on each front paw and 4 on each back paw. Yep, she's got 5 and 4. And then it says, we found one additional special body feature gene in Pinky's DNA, and that says short legs. Sorry, I'm being like half pulled off the sofa by her. It detected her short legs in her genes, which I find mad that they can tell all of this stuff just from a cheek swab. So there we go, that is everything that we learned from Pinky's wisdom panel DNA test. I think it was well worth doing, and obviously I know that for everyone it doesn't come up with that many breeds, and it might just come up as a super mutt if you do have like a rescue street dog, or just, you know, some dogs come up as that anyway. So I was actually quite surprised. There we go, that's our little Chihuahua, German Shepherd, Segugio, Italiano, Peruvian, Inca Orchid, Shih Tzu mix of a dog. My favourite thing though is that it says, first we learned she's a very good girl, but here's what else we found. That's my little girl. Where's Goose? So after a year and a bit of having Pinks, we finally now know what she is. We would not change her for the world. And if you would like to know anything more about Pinky and sort of her, you know, our whole adoption process and everything, I do have previous vlogs all about her on this channel, and just overall like a little general update and sort of like advice of having her for over a year. She definitely has been hard work in terms of like I've got friends who have got puppies, and obviously when you get a puppy from a breeder, they generally tend to come from like a really, really young age. You get them at what, like 12 weeks, 8 weeks or something? And so because they are with you from so young, they really tend, well, not always, but you know, they tend to be more easily trainable. Whereas obviously because Pinky had like 7 or so months just by herself wandering around the streets of Romania with nobody telling her what to do, she definitely has been difficult to train. But in recent months, she has got that's my sock. She has got so much better, and she has improved so much, and honestly like every part of her training has been so worth it. We were actually so fortunate that when she came to us, she only had about 2 accidents in the house. And then since then, the only times that she's had accidents in the house is when she gets overly excited and someone comes to the door. Occasionally she's peed. But she pretty much understood that when, like on the first few days when we were taking her outside to the toilet, she was like, okay, this is where I feel comfortable going to the toilet. The main thing that we struggled with was her recall and her listening to us and her prey drive. We did have some dog training sessions, and they definitely helped. The best thing that we learnt from our dog training sessions, although we stopped doing the dog training sessions because week by week she didn't really seem to be improving that much, but then suddenly it's almost like a switch sort of flipped in her. I don't know whether it was maybe her getting a bit older. She suddenly just started being a bit less crazy and listened to us a bit more. And the best thing that we learned from dog training is an emergency whistle. So instead of just blowing a dog whistle, we taught her an emergency whistle so that she knows that it's us that's calling her with this specific sound. So instead of just blowing on the whistle once, she knows to come back to us when we blow it like 5 times in a row. She has got so much better. We've seen such an improvement in her, mostly in maybe like the past 3 months, to be honest. I need to go now. Bless you. I hope you guys found this interesting, but yeah, that's it. I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you're doing good. Pinky can have a kiss. Thank you.